So I just wanted to jump on here real quick because I feel like I am in such a better spirits when it comes to my goals, my channel, and where I'm going right now. I had the opportunity to go live with Kirsten, Sobriety Bestie, today, and it looks like that's going to be something that we're going to do regularly. We're just trying to figure out what regularly looks like for us. But the cool thing about Kirsten is that she knows how to work with her mind, right? And she knows, like, with her weaknesses, what she needs to do to get things done. And I just feel like she has it together in areas that I wish I had it together. So I look forward to just, like, afterwards we were talking, and she kind of just gave me some ideas of different things that I can try to get myself in this out of this area where I'm just creating content and not uploading it. Like, it's so frustrating and annoying, and I just need to keep my eye on the prize, so to speak, right? Like the goal, the mission, what I'm trying to do. But I wanted to read you something. My mom watched my latest upload, right? And she said, "Saw you on YouTube. It's awesome to see my daughter so vibrant about life and commitment to helping the sober community understand the life of a substance user." She's so cute. She's trying not to use the word addict anymore. Like, she's changed her speech. I have such a different outlook. I wish I knew what I know now, and maybe your life might have been easier. Love you. And, it's one of those things, like, my parents did everything they could and listened to the professionals, right? Like, they thought that they were doing the right thing because they were told to do things a certain way. But their heads were also filled with just all of the dogma and the war on drugs propaganda and all that stuff. And it's really cool to see my mom, who was so anti just anything but abstinence, to come around and understand things differently, right? And not just see it as like, oh, drugs are bad, blah. And it takes a long it's a long road to get here for a lot of us, myself included. And there's still things that I go back and forth with. Like, there's this series that I've been wanting to start for so long, basically, like, called Baked Thoughts, right? And it would just be me, like, smoke after I smoke, just whatever came to my mind, and just think about it. Because after I smoke, I usually get deep in thought and think about things. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to smoke and just kind of go on a little bit of a ramble and, whatever, and share it with you guys? But in my mind, I'm like, I can't do that because there's so many people in recovery who follow me. But it's like, I'm not a recovery page. I'm not a recovery account. I'm about recovering from recovery, right? I'm about letting go of all of that misinformation and disinformation that we were taught. And I should feel comfortable to share that part of me. And when I first started speaking on the internet and doing anything on the internet, I was in the cannabis community only, right? It was the cannabis community that helped me realize that I was in recovery, and that I went through my whole, cannabis and recovery thing. And now I've deprogrammed, and I don't feel like I need to associate my cannabis use with recovery just to have people be okay with. I don't identify with the word recovery. Like, I don't use that to describe myself anymore because I just feel like there's so much stigma that's associated with that word as well. Like, there's certain things that automatically people believe about you because you use that word. Isn't my relationship, like, yes, I consume cannabis. Oh my God, right? But isn't the fact that it's not a chaotic relationship with cannabis looks nothing like the relationship that I had with heroin, right? I feel like that's a given. And, like, with cannabis, I've learned, like, I feel like cannabis has helped me learn balance, right? And I've learned how to feel good without all of the chaos that comes with it. I'm able to enjoy something without it owning me, right? Like, I have a life today that I never imagined I could have ever had. Is that not recovery? Again, like, I don't care if I'm considered in recovery or not, because I'm good with where I stand in my life. But if we're looking at those things and we're looking at recovery in a non-abstinent based lens, I feel like that's recovery right there, being able to have a healthy relationship. And I know people are like, you can't have a healthy relationship with a substance. Yes, you can, right? People have unhealthy relationships with caffeine, and we don't talk about that, right? But because someone has a healthy relationship with cannabis, because it's, it's a drug that we care to demonize, then it's an issue, right? Like, it's all about perspective and how we look at things. And the bigger point of this, like coming from the recovery community, is that we have been taught to demonize feeling good, right? We have been taught to believe that feeling pleasure in that type of sense is again, just so much misinformation and disinformation out there that we have to talk about it. Like, I have to talk about it, and I have to get over this editing thing where I'm just letting shit pile up. I'm going to take, I'm going to take the next few weeks and really figure out a system for myself that works. Like, no more of this, oh, well, whatever. Like, I know I need to figure it the fuck out. It's like, I'm hard on myself about it, but I could take all of that energy that I take being hard on myself to actually figure out something productive that's going to work with this, right? But honestly, for me, learning to be able to be honest about my relationship with cannabis, and once I finally ended that whole, like, oh, this is my recovery thing. And listen, for a while, absolutely, cannabis was part of my recovery, 100%. But it did get to a point where it's like, I'm not in recovery anymore. And at this point, I just use cannabis because I enjoy using it, right? And that's okay. But we've learned, we've been taught that it's not okay, and that it's a slippery slope, and that it's a red flag. But for me, if going to 100% abstinence, right? And if I had to make sure that I never touched a substance again, like, that's not, like, for me, that's worse, right? Like, to be told that I can never touch anything whatsoever, that doesn't work for me. I've tried it time after time after time. So now I have a substance in my life that works, and I even have a medical cannabis card. But honestly, even if I didn't, that doesn't really change things for me. And to just be able to be honest about it, I feel like, is huge, right? Like, that has done so much more for me, to just be able to straight up be honest and say, I use cannabis because I like it. To be able to say that has been more freeing for me, and has done more for my healing than any step or any meeting ever did. Granted, everybody's different. This is me, this is my path. But yeah. But it's just funny how I will talk myself out of talking about these things, and it just shows me that the stigma in my brain is still there. Like, I'm still controlled by a lot of that stigma, because I'm still not fully free speaking about these things, right? Like, I'm still thinking, like, oh, like, can I really talk about that? Like, so yeah, it's something that I'm working through, and I'm going to continue to work through it, because people deserve honest conversations about these things. And the reason that there's so much stigma around it, and it's hard to have these conversations, is because these conversations are silenced. We are not allowed to have these conversations because it could be dangerous, right? We're always told it could be dangerous. You don't want to talk about substances in a positive light, and especially after, like, all that stuff, right? But we know statistically that a lot of people do have relationships with substances after chaotic use. But I think there's a lot of people that probably carry a lot of shame, and then that shame can take them back out. So I just want to provide a space for these honest conversations, because we fucking need it. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this up so that I actually post this tonight on Sunday, November 2nd. And I will talk to you guys again soon.